America's honeybee hives just staggered through the second highest death rate on record, with beekeepers losing nearly half of their managed colonies, an annual bee survey found. But using costly and Herculean measures to create new colonies, beekeepers are somehow keeping afloat. The University of Maryland and a Barron University survey found that even though 48% of colonies were lost in the year that ended 1st April, the number of United States honeybee colonies remained relatively stable. Indeed, honeybee play a vital role in the food chain supply. Honeybees are crucial to the food supply, pollinating more than 100 of the crops we eat, including nuts, vegetables, berries, citrus, and melons. Scientists said that the major factor of the honeybee's death was the combination of parasites, pesticides, starvation, and climate change. Last year's 48% annual loss is up from the previous year's loss of 39% and the 12-year average of 39.6%, but it's not as high as 2020-2021's 50.8% mortality rate. The survey found beekeepers told the surveying scientists that 21% loss over the winter is acceptable, and more than 3/5 of beekeepers surveyed said their losses were higher than that. This is a very troubling loss number when we barely managed sufficient colonies to meet pollination demands in the US, said former government bee scientist Jeff Pettis, president of the Global Beekeepers Association. Epimenidia that wasn't part of the study. It also highlights the hard work that beekeepers must do to rebuild their colonies numbers each year. The overall bee colony population is relatively steady because commercial beekeepers split and restock their hives, finding or buying new queens or even starter packs for colonies. The prognosis is not as bad as 15 years ago because beekeepers have learned how to rebound from big losses. The situation is not really getting worse, but it's also not really getting better. Despite big annual losses, the situation is a far cry from 2007 when many bee experts expected an end to managed pollination, said US Department Agriculture Research. There are threats certainly in the environment and honeybees have persisted. Some commercial beekeepers who have succeeded in the past lost as much as 80% of their colonies this past year, while other beekeepers did well also. And it is varied so much. The parasitic mite varroa destructor that helps transmit viruses is the chief culprit, but bad weather and queen issues were also big problems in the past year. Pesticides also make things worse because it makes bees more vulnerable to diseases and less likely to seek food. Another problem is landscapes that have only one crop or homogeneous landscapes which deprive bees food, while pesticides and bouts of extreme weather also have caused problems. The impact of climate change on bee colonies' survival is real and can go undetected. The demand for pollination from commercial bee colonies is growing even as the beekeepers have to work harder to make up for losses. The US Department of Agriculture says 35% of the human diet comes from insect-pollinated plants, and the honeybees is responsible for 80% of their pollination. There is the whole side of our agriculture industry that relies on these colonies, and the fact that every year the commercial beekeepers have to invest so much more effort to keep those numbers up because they have to fulfill those pollination contracts puts a lot of stress on those beekeepers and the bees. Thanks for watching MR72 TV.